Gear Patrol calls their new dive watch the best sub-$500 dive watch. Full stop. Men's Health rated them as the most stylish solar watch in the game. Who are we talking about? It's Movement. They're leveling up your gift giving with the sleekest watches you can buy and the biggest deals of the season. From their innovative ceramic materials to sexy automatic divers, from ultra-thin dress watches to solar-powered statement pieces, and everything in between, Movement is making sure you're the good gifter this year for your family, your friends, or for yourself. And now you can take advantage of 30 to 50% off Movement's California clean watches, jewelry, and accessories to get them a gift they'll never forget. With fast, free shipping and returns and amazing bang for your buck, Movement makes for a relaxed shopping experience. And with one-size-fits-all watches, it's an easy, elegant gifting experience too. Shop 30 to 50% off now at mvmt.com. That's mvmt.com.
Are we ready?
We're ready.
Ready.
We don't have to clap.
No. Hello, and welcome back to the Potted Together podcast. My name is Adam, and I'm joined in person, live, in the studio. With my beautiful co-hosts, Nicole and Becca.
Hi, guys.
Hello, everybody.
This is a different vibe.
Yeah, I feel very professional right now.
Yeah, I feel like a real podcaster.
Like we heard the music in our ears and all the who are we without clapping? Who are we even?
Yeah, I forgot that. You're like, we're not going to have to clap. And I was like, no.
Like I almost want to clap just for funsies.
Yeah, there's no
3,
clippity clapping.
2, 1. That is so cool. Adam's got the whole setup. We came prepared to San Diego.
Yeah, I was excited to see how it was going to be because we have done that one podcast, but weren't we all huddled around your microphone?
Yes.
Yeah, the sound was so bad. It was in that big open room with my one mic. My mic is great for me.
Yeah,
but
it
like
is great.
for that situation, it was not.
It was so cozy though. Like I loved that day.
Yeah,
but the audio wasn't the best on it.
Yeah.
But now we're legit.
We are.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. And I just took over leading this episode.
No, go ahead.
I don't even know who's leading. Do we
Okay.
even need a leader?
No.
Because we're not. I feel like the whole like who's going to lead the episode thing is more important when we're not together.
Yeah.
Because then it's like because we're going to inevitably talk over each other. So who's going to just like take the lead?
Right.
Now we can just freaking go for it.
Go in.
Deep dive. Anyway, today's episode is a fun one. I think we're going to discuss. Actually, do you want to say since you know?
No, it was actually a listener suggestion. So it wasn't even my idea. Wait, maybe I can see who said it though.
Yeah. Let's give some cred words.
It was Poorly Planted.
Poorly Planted. It gave us
yes.
the idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's basically like if we were changed or if we swapped places, kind of like a wife swap situation.
Oh my gosh. We should also talk about that.
Find me a church. That's the only thing I remember from Wife Swap is that crazy lady.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I don't remember that episode.
Oh my gosh. She was like screaming and she's like, this is not Christian.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's not a Christian.
Yeah,
Wait, is that
it.
from White Swap?
Wife Swap.
White Swap. Oh. Is that from White Swap?
Control
my gosh.
delete.
I'm just kidding.
It's my brain right now. Is that from Wife Swap?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was
Also,
like
why
the
was it
OG.
called wife swap?
Because the wives swapped.
But like, why couldn't the husbands
Yeah.
swap? That's crap.
Because we live in a
Okay, but like we live
patriarchal.
in a patriarchy, but doing wife swap is very matriarchal because she would come in and completely change the whole rules of the home, right?
So it was basically saying that the woman was like the leader. So like she,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually an interesting concept. And I feel like a lot of the time there was like good lessons that came from it, but there were some that were so messy and it was so bad. But they take like, like the most extremes. Wait, have you ever seen it?
No, but right away, my brain goes to, are these people sleeping with their husbands?
No.
So they're coming in and they're just changing, like, living in the household.
Nicole's like, do I have to have sex with somebody else?
Because no.
I'm not a swinger. No, they just like change the rules of the home and how it works.
Okay.
So, and like they would take people who were like politically opposites or like like, let's say someone who was like really, really like prejudiced and possibly racist and bring in like a black woman and they would switch them.
Okay.
And like, this was probably the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So like, that probably was very scary and like unethical.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, like that's a very scary situation to put someone in. But in the end, like, you know, the white dad would be like, you know, she's not that bad. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, awesome.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
Reality TV at its finest.
Yeah. But it, like, a lot of people I do think came out, like, kind of changed. And they take, like, the completely unstructured home and then swap it with, like, a militant. Like, literally, like, she's an army surgeon or something.
Wow.
So the lazy kids were forced to do chores and the kids were having breakdowns. And I was like, this is so hard.
No.
This is so hard to make my bed.
Oh, man.
Oh, I
Blast
have
from
to
the
say,
past. What?
neither of you made your beds.
Yeah, no, I'm not a bed maker.
I was surprised.
I walked by your bed this morning and I was like, oh, God. It was like pristine. The little shoes right next to it, like perfectly. And I was like, girl, I've seen your Be Real. That is not what your bedroom looks like.
No.
But you do make your bed all the time.
I do usually make my bed. No, my room is a mess all the time.
Okay, so here's the thing for me is that I'm the first one out of the bed.
Yeah.
So the last person out of the bed should make the bed.
I
So
agree.
Jay always makes the bed.
Okay, yeah.
But like when I'm by myself, like
Why?
nobody else is going in there.
Yeah. I'm not like a religious bed maker, but I do think that when I do make it, I feel better.
Yeah. It
When you
sets your day.
climb into a made bed,
Yeah.
it is so much better than trying to like figure out the puzzle piece that is the
Yeah.
sheets.
Yeah.
When you're ready to sleep.
Especially
Absolutely.
in like hotel beds when there's like literally 5 layers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daniel, I don't know what he does in his sleep, but he like wraps himself up in the sheet and it's like so disorganized. And it is like one of my biggest pet peeves is like, I'll get in the bed. I'm like, it's so disorganized. Like the sheet corner is like in the wrong side. And he's like, just pull it over yourself and go to sleep. I'm like, I can't. How can you do that? I need it to be like flat and like the corners need to be in the corners.
Oh yeah, I tuck it in at the bottom.
Oh.
Yeah, I do that too. He gets mad at me though.
Steve gets mad at me
because then he
too,
can't do the whole.
And he
The
can't
feet
lift his
thing?
feet up and like talk like
Yeah.
burrito is
I need to burrito my feet. There's no monsters that are going to attack my feet. Like it needs to be tucked. But then like in the middle of the night, I'll kick the covers off, but then I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, my feet are out. Like the monsters are going to get my feet.
Oh my god! The only monsters that are going to get my feet is Cooper licking my toes in the morning because he does that. He's
Everybody
a toe
has their
licker.
kinks.
Cooper loves to lick a pair of toes.
Cooper.
He loves it.
That's
And
so funny.
admittedly, sometimes it feels good. Like a little
it
dog
does.
lick. I'm like, ooh.
I let him do it.
Not
I'm,
in like
I'm not
a-
like ew. Not in a.
Yeah.
We're not sexualizing our dogs,
Yeah.
but
But like sometimes if Patches is laying in my lap and she starts licking my arm right at the crease where my elbow is.
Oh.
It like tickles, but it also is like weird.
Everybody has their kinks.
everybody has their kinks, you know. What are you gonna do?
Classic us. I don't think I even finished our thought of what the episode was.
Oh yeah, we just went into wife swap.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But so yeah, basically what we would do if we switched places and we're having to care for each other's collections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to talk about today.
Yes. So thank you, Poorly Planted. That's a really great idea.
It is.
It is.
It's hilarious to think about.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I will say it's very fucking bright upstairs.
Oh my God. 7 a.m. That sun was,
Yes.
well, because our rooms, I think, are facing the sun.
Okay. They are.
Because
Yeah.
I saw the moon last night,
Me
really bright too.
too.
I was like, dang, can
was
you shut
beautiful.
it off?
It was beautiful though.
Yeah.
Very bright. I have been like, I started waking up at like 5 a.m. and I was so anxious that I was going to sleep like all day. All day, all night. I was like, oh, you can't sleep all day. Like you need to wake up and you don't want to
you
be that
could've.
person.
And then Becca texts us it was like 7:35 and I had just looked at my phone too.
Yeah.
And I was like, shoot, I'm not going to be the one to text them first. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
That would have been very you.
I know. And I didn't want to be me in that moment. So I got up and I was like just vlogging a little bit
Yeah.
and talking about like I was doing my little face roller. And then I looked at my phone and Becca was like, so are we awake? What's the vibe?
What's the vibe? Are we awake? Which was the best text message.
Love it. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm awake.
I feel bad now because yesterday we were doing our Instagram live and someone was like, "What's your plan tomorrow?" And I was like, "Well, we're gonna get down to business right away." But then I didn't really mean that. I mean, there's things I wanted to get done,
Yeah.
but that probably put some anxiety in you. Like, oh, I gotta wake up.
Oh no. That
Okay.
that didn't bother me. I was anxious that I was going to be oversleeping because I've been sleeping a lot lately. Like
Yeah.
I can sometimes sleep till like 10 if I really let myself. But my body has actually thankfully been waking me up between like 7:30 and 8 again. But I was really anxious about that.
Yeah.
But the time change, like,
Yeah.
I still woke up late for me, and it was only 7 here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And we woke up, and we stayed up late last night.
Did you
Yeah.
guys hear my alarm go off at 6 a.m.?
No.
No.
Okay.
You set an alarm for 6
I
a.m.?
didn't set it. It was set and I forgot to turn it off because I wake up to take Mia to school every day. And I was like, son of a bitch. Like I told myself to shut it off too and I didn't.
Yeah.
But I was waking up like every hour from 5 o'clock too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's loud here though. Like the windows aren't sealed very well and they started construction at like 7 a.m.
Oh, I think it's because of the AC units.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? Our Airbnb has like very strict rules about like no loud sounds after 10. But like I was in my room, it was like midnight and I could hear people outside talking and I was like,
Okay, so I thought that you guys were watching something on your phones or something.
No.
Neither of you?
No.
No.
It was loud.
yeah, there was people talking outside.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, oh, they're up. They're partying over there.
Yeah. It wasn't us. It
Yeah.
was not us.
We went to bed.
Yeah, well, we stayed up late talking about childhood trauma. We learned a lot about each other last night. That
Yeah.
every time we're actually together, we have like very, very deep conversations.
Yes.
And like when we FaceTime, like like day to day, we talk about things,
Oh,
but
yeah.
not like that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. People were asking us like what it's like to be together again, and it's just normal.
Yeah.
It's very normal, but it's also like
Good.
catch up. Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like when we're not together for a long time, we don't have these like very deep conversations. I'm like, is our friendship is it over?
Yeah.
Is this it? Are
Is
we
it
done?
just business?
Is it just brought it together?
Yeah.
And then you realize, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
It's
we're
just
like,
we need those moments.
yeah. Okay, not to be cheesy, but I think that we're like kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Like I really do.
100.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh,
That was
very
not the
cute.
right. That was not the vibe.
Which is the one that you were trying to do.
Well, that was it, but I thought it sounded different.
No,
I thought it was like a more ethereal, like.
that was very
not just-
magical.
I like that.
Okay.
Kindred
Very-
spirits.
Very Tinkerbell. But I feel like in the beginning of our friendship, we did a lot of voice texting. That
Yeah.
kind of felt more like we were more in tune with each other's lives.
Yeah.
But you know, things happen. We get busy.
Yeah.
And work.
But it
and-
was also like the pandemic, and we were all
That's
just
true.
like yearning for some sort of
Connection.
connection.
That is very true.
And I still am, obviously. Like, this is a strong friendship, but that was when we were kind of building our friendship. And so, like, the voice texting was like, okay, we were. I don't feel like
Getting to know each other.
I mean, I still like that. I'm just saying, I don't feel
too.
like, because that doesn't exist, that we're not friends.
Right. We don't necessarily need it.
But I do kind of feel that way sometimes too.
Yeah.
Until like last night when we got together, I was like, okay, this is right. Like, this is good.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is, nothing's wrong.
No.
Because
Yeah.
I can really be bad in those.
Yeah.
My head, I'm like, oh, nobody likes me anymore.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I hate it.
No, it takes a lot for me to stop being friends with someone. I'm just going to say that up front. Like, if we're friends, like, I'm going to ride for you. You know, like, we are going to be friends. Unless something horrific happens, like, we are friends.
Okay.
Forever.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Friends forever. What was that on Saved by the Bell?
Friends forever.
I don't know.
Ooh,
Sorry.
I don't
now
know.
it's going to bother me though.
Okay, so plane ride, traveling. We got to do our catch up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do a brief recap because we don't want to like an hour catch up, which we could easily do. But
Yeah, and
yeah.
we always do.
yeah.
Okay. Who's going first? You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recap your travel day.
Okay. So leading up to the travel day was a journey in my head because I have travel anxiety. So I didn't sleep very well like the past few nights. And then I woke up early to take Mia to school and it was just kind of like a go, go, go. But I told myself I was going to vlog because I feel like vlogging kind of takes, like I forget about what's to come kind of when I'm vlogging.
Yeah, it takes the edge off.
Yeah. So I was vlogging or whatever, got to the airport. And you know how like you just have to go into those little shops that sell everything from magazines to water to whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I did this because I don't think I've ever purchased Dramamine before. But in my head, I'm in the store. and I'm-
Dramamine and sleep water, which what?
Sleep water. Well, because, okay, so like
Such a
it
random.
looks so dreamy. And I'm like, maybe, what if I'm not able to sleep? Like, what if I have a hard time falling asleep while I'm there and we have plans and like, your girl, I don't know. I've been taking naps lately. So I was like, if I need it in a pinch, like I'll just take it. And it looked dreamy. Like
Yeah.
it was just like this magical little container of like sleep water. So anyway, I purchased Dramamine, and I remember it working, or I remember my mom taking it on a plane because my mom would get like actual motion sickness. And then like, because we're all together and you're the lead driver, I do get car sickness sometimes. So I didn't know how far we'd be driving. I was like, this could come in handy while we're driving. I didn't know it caused drowsiness.
Oh God.
I didn't know this because I don't think it says it on the bottle.
It does.
It
I'm
definitely
pretty sure
does.
It does.
It's like you can't drive after you're
There's a
taking Dramamine.
non-drowsy version of Dramamine.
Okay. So I crack it open and I'm like, you know what? I got this flight anxiety. It says to take it like 30 minutes before your flight. It says to take 1 to 2 pills. I took 1. Thank God.
Oh, I would never take 2. Never. You wouldn't even make it to the plane. You'd be in the terminal like,
Nicole's just drooling. Just sitting there.
Narcoleptic. So I was like, okay, I took 1 and I got on the plane and everything was cool. I am not even joking you when I tell you that I was just so chill. I had 0 anxiety.
oh,
I was like, this is beautiful. I'm doing this all the time.
Yeah.
For takeoff, I was like, it's whatever.
And the pilot even said it was going to be a rough takeoff.
Yeah, he's like, it's going to be a rough takeoff. And I'm like, you know what? If this plane goes down, it's whatever. Like, it's fine. And like, in my head, before I took the pill, I'm in the airport thinking of like, does Jay have all my passwords? Like, did I take enough photos and post them on social media? Because if the plane crashes, they're not going to get my phone. So I have to post these photos now. It was a thing.
Gosh.
It was a whole thing. So when I was like, that pill kicked in, but then I couldn't keep my eyes open, and I can't sleep on a plane because turbulence, like as soon as the plane jolts, I'm awake, you know?
Same.
And I also can't sleep sitting up. Like I just can't do it. And I'm terrified of snoring and like and someone being like, excuse me, ma'am, you're being really loud. And I'm like, oh my God. So it was a little bit of a rough first hour, and I was trying to watch my show, dozing off. I was like, I wonder if people see me doing this. But I didn't know it caused drowsiness. So now I'm like, well, I can't take this before I get in the car. I'm going to be a freaking zombie.
Oh, we can find you the non-drowsy version.
Maybe.
But
Or
I think
maybe
the
I'll be
drowsiness
fine.
is probably what was making you chill.
It was
I think so.
I think I'm always going to do that. Even though I
Yeah.
didn't like the feeling of not being able to stay awake, it was so much better than the anxiety. But then, the pilot was like, yeah, it's going to be a bumpy ride getting out of Chicago because, of course, it was storming. The only day of the week it was storming. Sleet, rain, it was awful. So, totally fine. Like, it wasn't bumpy at all getting out of Chicago. And then before landing, he doesn't make an announcement. Oh, we're coming in. The weather's great in San Diego. It's going to be a high of 74. You know how they do that. And I'm like, oh, yes. And landings don't bother me.
Yeah, me either.
It's the takeoff because, all those accidents happen right after takeoff. So
You gotta
that's-
stop. You gotta stop,
Stop Googling.
saying that in your head
I know.
every time you say take off.
I know. Okay. So a landing was awful. It's like the plane was literally, like it felt like we were going down. Like it was just shaking. And then I'm looking at everybody around me and I'm like, am I really over exaggerating? Because nobody seems bothered by this, which kind of helps my anxiety. Because I'm like, well, if they're okay, then I'm okay. They have lives, they're cool. Like nothing's going to take away their happiness. So like I'll be fine.
Bro, I squeeze onto the armrest so hard.
Me too.
Like I am death gripping that, and if I'm in the middle seat, I am between my legs holding onto the seat.
Really?
Yeah, and I look around and everyone's just kind of like reading their magazines and stuff,
I
and I'm
know.
just like, we're going down.
There was like a group of like 3 friends in front of me, and they were like elderly, like probably 70s. And you could tell they were friends, and they were just like, yeah. And they were like talking as the plane is like literally doing like flips in the air. I'm like, how are you not even bothered by this? But I think it's because of the winds coming off the mountain and the ocean, because it's right off the water. But I was like, that's okay. Like once we landed, I was like, thank Jesus.
Yeah, and that's bright and sunny, and it was 80 degrees.
It was so
Oh,
warm.
so nice. I was like a lizard sunning myself on a bench,
Yes.
literally.
Yeah.
Oh, it felt so good.
Okay, so how was your trip, Becca? Is that all we wanted
That's
to
it.
do?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, mine was super uneventful, like nothing. I did fly Southwest and realized that I don't like flying Southwest because social anxiety for me, that's really what it is. Because it's like I like the idea of a seat like being chosen for me, or like even just pre-choosing my seat and being like, this is where I'm assigned and this is where I'm going to sit. Like there's no issues. Like the anxiety of walking down the aisle and like, oh, I could sit there or I could sit there. Like it's like decision fatigue, social anxiety, bad combination for me.
So with Southwest, because I've never flown Southwest, because they recently came to O'Hare. Like they were always out of Midway.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think in 2020, they recently came to...
I flew Southwest to O'Hare when I came to visit the last time.
Okay. So is it like literally as you're getting on the plane, it's a cat fight of where people are sitting? Or do you get a seat before you board?
It's a cat fight.
Get out.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't handle that.
No, it was weird. And like I wasn't in the first group. If you're in the first group, it's probably fine.
And that's why boarding group, like that's why you have to check in exactly. Like it's kind of like how we used to treat plant restocks, where we were like refreshing right at the minute they were going to drop.
It's like
You have to check
Ticketmaster.
in right there and to get in a good boarding group, and that means that you get a good selection of seats.
Yeah. Yeah. See, when I was growing up, we would pretty much only fly Southwest. Like we only flew a few times, but it was only Southwest. And I had this realization this morning or yesterday, because anytime Daniel and I flew like early in our relationship, I was like, we need to check in. Like, why are you not checking in? He's like, why would I check in? Like, I can check in when I get there. And I'm like, but it's just nice to check in early, isn't it? I didn't know why I had this thought. And then it clicked yesterday why my family was always like, we need to check in ASAP because then we could sit together. But I remember there was like at least one time where we couldn't sit together because of the seat situation. And I think we all had to sit separately, and I couldn't have been older than like 10.
See, like in a situation like that, I feel like people traveling alone would recognize a family and be like, here, you can have my seat.
Yeah. Like, let me move for you.
Like what an ass to not do that.
But I also think that there's a lot of people that take advantage of pre-boarding. Did you notice that, like a bunch of families? Because I think that if you have young kids, well, no, there's like a pre-boarding that if you have young kids, like you can just like hop in there so you guys can get on before the A group.
Okay. I also don't know if they did, you know how they do like service members can get on first?
Yeah.
Like I don't
United
know if Southwest does that.
Oh, United does
I
that.
didn't hear it, but I also wasn't really paying attention because I knew I wasn't in the first group. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to I was editing a video.
There was a reality show, I don't know if you remember this, called Airline, and it was all about Southwest, like in
Oh, really?
the early 2000s.
Oh.
Like all the drama with people flying and like
Yeah.
getting pulled off flights because they were drunk or they smelled bad.
Oh, ew. I saw a TikTok of somebody on a flight to Hawaii, and he was on the flight and he was apparently really stinky and he was like touching himself like on the flight, and they turned the flight around.
Oh, I would be so pissed.
2 hours in.
2 hours in?
They turned around. So they didn't tell the people either. They're like, we're landing back in San Francisco for technical difficulties. And then like the police come on and like escort him off. So like they flew 2 hours to Hawaii and then in the air turned around 2 hours back.
No.
I would be so mad
Livid.
too.
That's a
Yeah.
whole day of vacation gone.
I would be so mad. That turns that flight into like a 10-hour flight. At
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
So besides that whole situation, like as I was getting on the plane, I was like walking down the aisle, and it's just like the aisle seat and the window seat are both taken by like men, like not small men, let's say. And that's just like one of the worst positions to be in as like a girl, because they just don't give a crap about your space at all. You have to like, you can't even assert yourself because you weren't there first. So it's like, okay. So I eventually did find a window seat, and I got that like in the middle of the plane.
Yeah.
Did someone sit in the middle seat in your row? Was it a full flight?
It was a full flight, but the aisle seat and the middle seat were already taken. It was a couple. They were sitting next to each other, assuming.
Oh, okay.
So, and then I think it was kind of hidden that seat was there because you had to really look.
And if you see someone sitting in a middle in an aisle, you're like, oh, the window's definitely not open, because that's what everyone you seemingly goes for.
Yeah. So
Score.
I was like, is that open? She's like, yeah, I'm surprised no one took it. And it was great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was very normal.
I wonder why they do that. I feel like an airline would, like, they don't have the drama of assigning seats and they don't have to keep up with that. But also, like, I can imagine that being a headache for flight attendants, having to deal with boarding issues or like people being mad that they can't sit together or something, you know?
Yeah.
Just it felt very chaotic for a bit. And then like, I feel like if you fly Southwest all the time. So you're probably used to the drill.
Right.
But it was just like weird. And I don't get plane anxiety or anything. I mean, a little bit if I'm flying alone, but like I just am like pushing it down. And then like the day, or let's say like the hours after I get off the plane, that's when I get anxious. So like last night I was like not feeling well.
Yeah. What is that? I want to unpack that. Is that like you being away, like far away from home?
I think it's just like, well, because like, you know, getting on a plane is like scary.
Yeah.
Like I think there's very few people in the world who don't like acknowledge that's like a little weird.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Daniel's one of those people.
People just like think that like I really don't think that we belong up there, guys. Like I don't.
It is a bit strange. I really think it like comes down to, I think it's just a stress response because like in stressful times, I'm pretty good at keeping it together, but the decompression after for me is like, because I can hold it together in moments of like despair.
Yeah.
Like, you know, during finals week, that's like the big stressors. I haven't had anything like truly like horrific happen.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking finals week, like every year I would get really sick, like after school ended in school. And I think it was just because my body was like holding all that stress for so long. And then once it was over,
That makes sense.
I'd
You
get
were
like,
allowed to,
yeah, I'd get like really bad bronchitis like every year.
Weird.
Yeah. And I would be sick for like a month
Yeah.
after school ended.
You also dehydrate yourself so you don't have to use the bathroom. So that probably plays into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That probably makes me not feel, definitely.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not getting up and peeing on a plane. I'm sorry. It's stinky in there.
It is stinky.
I hate it.
I do pee on a plane. I can't poop on a plane, but I will pee on a plane. But I'm also
I don't think anybody wants to poop on a plane. No.
But I'm also the annoying one that like I have to have an aisle seat. When I was a kid, I liked the window seat, but I have to have an aisle seat because I need to be able to get up when I want.
Yeah.
You know, like if I'm in the middle and someone is sitting in the aisle and they're asleep the whole flight, I'm not waking that person up to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then I'm essentially going to pee myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
See, I have to have the window because I have to see that we're going through clouds and that's why the plane is shaking.
Okay. Well, I'm also the annoying person that leans over the people next to me to look out the window.
Yeah.
Or like I'm like this looking over the aisle. Like I'm looking out someone's window from afar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So long story short, Adam and Nicole don't want to be on a plane with them. Me? Let's take a flight together.
Yeah.
See, I think that if all three of us took a flight together, it would definitely lessen my anxiety. Flying with other people is
Yeah. It's
much
easier.
better.
Like I would love to take a flight with Steve.
One of the best flights I had, my whole family, we went to Las Vegas. And I was like, well, everybody that I love at that point in time is here. And so I'm not scared because I'm not going to, like, if something happens, it happens to all of us.
Yeah.
But if I'm alone, it's so bad.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I had to fly back to Illinois the first time, not when I went to hang out with you guys, but when I had to fly back for a different situation and it was alone. I was like, in my head, I was like, I'm finally the person who I want to be. I'm finally authentic. Like I finally found what I've been searching for my whole life. And I was like, this plane cannot go down. And like I was a wreck that entire trip.
Oh, I bet.
Because I was like not with Steve and I was like, this is my person. Like I know it. And it was
because that's when shit
very
happens to
stressful.
people.
Yeah. And I was like, I cannot finally reach the point in life that I am happy and something bad happens.
Oh, I
was
get
just
it.
like a wreck.
I fucking get it.
Yeah.
See, Jay's the opposite. When we fly with all of the kids, he's got flight anxiety because he doesn't like, he wants to protect the kids. So he's nervous that where I'm like, okay, but we're all together. You know, like I have that same mentality. Like if we go down, we all go down together.
Yeah.
But he's the opposite. He's like, no, the kids, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so quick, my trip was very uneventful. I drove from Phoenix. It was 5.5 hours, but I was anxious about the time change because I was like trying to do the math the whole time. I was like, okay, Google Maps says 5.5 hours. So I knew what time your guys' plane landed and I was like, I need to be there at this time to be, and I lose an hour or gain an hour, however you want to look at it. I go back in time and then like I still showed like 30 minutes from the airport and I get a text from Becca that says landed. And I was like, well, she was supposed to come in last.
Yes.
Yeah. My pilot was like
Your
jetting
pilot
through.
Yeah, he must have gained some great wind speeds there.
Must have.
And then I knew that neither one of you checked a bag and I was like, shit, they're going to walk off the plane and they're just going to be waiting. I was stressing about it.
my God.
And then Nicole's like, I'm still in the air. She texts. She's like, I'm still in the air. And I was like, okay, good. Well, at least I'm not like the late one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it
he
wasn't
gained
even
some
a big deal.
time.
Yeah, no, I was happy to sit. I mean, you guys saw, I was stretching on a
She was
bench.
doing fucking yoga.
Yeah, I was loving the sun. So
Yeah.
I could have been there for an hour.
Yeah.
It would have been fine.
Yeah.
But how was the drive? Was it like scenic?
It was. You go through so much. The mountains in San Diego, they're like boulders. Like,
Yeah.
like think about Frozen, like the troll people, the rock people.
Yes.
Like literally there's just mountains of these circular boulders. And I was like, I
so
sent
cool.
Steve a video and I was like, how the hell does this happen?
Yeah.
It's so
Like
beautiful.
like sometimes I just want to transport back to the moment in time that those whatever, if the like
Tectonic plates.
yeah, if they like crash into each other, just to see how all of that
happens.
formed.
Yeah. So cool.
So yeah, it was cool. But then there's a part like in Yuma, well, you can see the border wall, which is kind of sickening to see, like because you can also see Mexico outside the border wall. And if we went to the coast here, if we go to the cliffs, you'll see
I would
you can
love
see
to do
Tijuana.
that. Yeah, I want to do that.
But Yuma is also like these sand dunes that I didn't know. It was almost like I was like in the Middle East. I was like, oh shit, like this isn't what a desert is like. And I'm sure I was telling you guys, I feel like this is what people think Arizona is like,
Yeah.
but it's so not.
Did you
Like,
take
so
any
lush.
video or photo?
not of the sand, but I did of the mountains.
Okay.
I don't know why I didn't of the sand,
Yeah.
but it
I
was.
mean, my back.
You're driving.
But my friend Jessie, because I said something to her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, like all of the kids in their quinceañeras, like they go out and take photos in the sand dunes and stuff."
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool."
Yeah.
because it was just like huge dunes, and it was just like full on sand.
Very Star
Wait, so-
Wars.
So
Yeah.
you can see the border wall
Yeah,
from
there's
the road?
yeah, there's a couple points where you can see it because Yuma is like very close to the border,
Okay.
Yeah. And
and
you
it's
can just see
this
like,
metal atrocity. Just,
yeah.
like, it's I don't know. Anyway.
Ick. Yeah.
I saw lots of wildflowers coming into San Diego, which was really pretty. I think they're poppies, and
Yes.
I do
Are
they
love
orange?
poppies, orange and yellow.
Yeah, they're
Probably
poppies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
They're beautiful.
they are. So I think we're going to see some of those, hopefully.
Yeah. One of our followers, Lonnie, she sent us a photo of them like from afar. And I was like, she's like, poppies are blooming. And I was like, oh my God, that looks beautiful. That pixelated, blurry image, because she was really far from
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
looks beautiful. And then I was like, she's like, yeah, but people are like, you know, they blocked it off because medics couldn't get to them. And I'm like, for what? Like, or like she was saying like they blocked it off. And I was like, for like protection of the poppies. Cause I don't know like laws out here. Sometimes that's the case. And she's like, no, it's because people were going up to them, taking photos and getting snake bites. And I was like, well, okay, well, we're not going to do that.
Very cool.
Yeah. I sent you a screenshot. I thought that you were, I know, cause
Yeah.
Adam has a
Snakes.
phobia of snakes.
hate
No
them.
snakes. When I came out here in March 2019, it was like it was like a super bloom of poppies. And I went the day that they shut it down because people were being really irresponsible, like walking through them and like eroding the soil. Like it's just like you can't walk through wildflowers or else they're not going to come back.
Yeah.
Or it'll take a long time. So there was like definitely like footpaths and I stayed on the trail, but there's people who weren't. And like I was looking around and there's people who literally had like a bunch of poppies
Like
in their
they
hands
picked
that they
them?
pulled up. Root and all. They just ripped it out.
God.
And I was like, what? Like, I understand why they shut it down because people were being so irresponsible. Like, there was a clear footpath.
People are the worst.
They were just trouncing around,
You
laying
had to
in
ask
them.
someone to take your photo for that trip, I remember. And I was thinking, like, if I had to do that, I
Horrifying.
would be horrified.
Yeah. I think that I just used self-timer a lot on that trip. But I did get some really nice photos that I think my future children are really going to enjoy of me. Because I had my long hair, I had my white sunglasses and the flowers. And
Very
like,
pretty.
My mom was so cool.
Yeah. That is sweet.
Everything I do is for my kids to think I'm
Vibes.
cool.
Oh, okay. Catch up over?
Yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
else? Okay.
How long have we been recording?
Well, it says
36.
36 minutes.
Oh, that's
Honestly,
that didn't
that's
feel
very
like
good.
that's impressive.
Staying on task.
And
Yeah.
we're together. Wow.
Okay, so today's topic, the swapping thing.
Wait,
The swapping thing.
plants.
Okay, so my collection is, I would say 95% pawn and or leca, but mostly pawn. Because like my leca plants now, I'm like, "Ugh, I don't like you anymore. And I have been taking cuttings to transfer into pawn because I really do like pawn a lot. I have 3 main sections in my house that have plants. like the one that I film behind. Then there's another one in that same room, but at the front of the room. And then my bedroom has a bunch of plants.
Okay.
And don't you have like prop boxes in a spare room?
And then, the spare room is full of prop boxes.
Did you move the plants from the bathroom shelf?
Yeah, because
Okay.
the Monstera doesn't fit up there anymore. None of them fit up there anymore.
Okay.
Ooh.
So there's nothing above the shower anymore.
Okay. Because it was the Billy and the Monstera pretty much.
Yeah, the Billy
And
got
some fillers.
huge.
Yeah.
Steve knocked it over. We remember that.
Yeah, we remember
Yeah.
that.
I took some props, and I have some props of it.
Yeah.
But I think that's what I'm going to do because philodendrons are tough for me. But
Mm-hmm.
like right before I left on this trip, my squamiferum, that's like 6 feet tall. Steve and
6 feet?
Steve and I were in the office, and I'm just like working away, and all of a sudden I just hear that crash, the sound of Lekka hitting the ground. Oh. And I'm like, Patches, what did she do?
Chilling.
Nothing. The squamiferum just finally toppled over because it
Really?
was so heavy at the top.
Oh.
And then I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with this plant? So I feel like my philodendron is like, I'll grow it big, cut it, and start at a small plant again and get that joy of watching it grow big and just keep going through that cycle.
So you have your philodendrons in pond as well?
Just the squammy and the
Okay.
Billy at TA was.
Okay.
In pond.
Yeah.
And the Monstera is in soil.
Yes.
Okay.
De La Tanks or a previous soil?
No, previous, because I haven't repotted that Monstera since I put it in that. It needs to be repotted.
Oh, it'll love De La Tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monstera really love it.
And so I need to get a big pot for it.
You need to take some cuttings and make some money off of it.
I-
It's huge.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, Arizona people, I tried to sell.
they don't care about it.
I tried to sell an elbow cutting, a very beautiful elbow cutting that was
Yeah.
already putting up new growth for $200. And look, that might be too much. I don't know what prices are. I just like could put it out there.
That's not too much.
It was really nicely variegated, like stable, nice variegation.
And I took a picture of the mother plant, which is like completely stable variegation the whole
Yeah.
way through. No one. No bites
Really?
at all. And I
Didn't
was-
you get pushback from somebody too? Like someone say that's too expensive?
No, but there was I did try to sell cuttings of it. This one before, and the person was like, that cutting looks unhealthy.
Oh, that's what it was.
and it wasn't.
No.
Douche.
They were trying to haggle and get like
Yeah.
$50 off because like, well, there's a little brown tip on that leaf. And I was like, oh my gosh.
A brown on a variegated plant. Ooh, who knew?
Oh no.
Anyway,
That's why I don't sell plants because
no.
I just don't want to deal with it. Like people ask me, "Oh, will you ever sell cuttings?" Probably not. Never.
Yeah.
Honestly, no.
Not
My
gonna
plants
deal
don't
with
get
it.
big enough to even do that. Like your plants just grow like crazy. Mine.
but again, Hoya, it's so much easier. It
Yeah,
is
that's
not
true.
easy with philodendron. That's why I'm like, that squammy, like the leaves are huge. But if I took a cutting and like sold that node,
It would
it's
take a
gonna
long
be like
time.
it's gonna be like the Hawaiian pothos, where the first thing that comes out of it is like a little 2-inch leaf. And so you
Yeah.
have this giant ass leaf with this
Yeah.
huge fuzzy petiole. And then you just have this little tiny little guy.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Adansonii from Becca's tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, it's like it's almost worth it just to cut each node and just restart a tiny baby plant and then sell those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
a lot of work.
I have a squammy from you.
You do?
Still. Yeah. It has like maybe 6 leaves now. They're pretty small, but
Yeah.
I'm going to move that one out to the greenhouse. That's one of I call that my category of plants, the project philodendron.
Yeah.
Because it's like ones that I think would be really fun to like experiment with and mess with.
Yeah. Maybe that's something they all need. The
Yeah.
greenhouse.
The greenhouse.
That's
Almost
it.
done.
Yeah. It's almost done.
Okay. So that's your collection.
Yeah. And so also all mine are mostly under grow lights.
Okay.
And I have them on a timer. So you guys won't have to worry about any of that.
Lots of
Intriguing.
automation. You've set yourself up with some automation. That's
I
nice.
have.
Okay. So what about your collection, Becca?
Okay, so my collection majority resides in the plant room.
Yeah.
There's like 60 plus plants in there. Or no, I think it's actually 40 when I counted on my Notion. So yeah, there's like 40 plus plants in there. The plant wall is a very big chore to water. You have to take every single plant down individually and water it, wait for it to drain for a few minutes, and then put it back up because we don't want water damage
We don't
inside
want
the
water
house.
damage.
Yeah. Also, how sturdy is that ladder? Like, can my fat ass fit on it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I built it.
Yeah. Becca built that.
That's
Yeah.
a Calhoun ladder.
Becky Calhoun built that ladder. You bet your ass is gonna hold it.
In her prime time.
It does like make creaky sounds, but it's just because it's wood touching.
Yeah.
It's like wood against wood. Yeah, so that's like half a day project. Like
Yeah.
you can definitely break it up into a few days. Do one row one day, but you can't water it in place whatsoever. And all my plants are in soil. So there's that. And then I have a few plants in my greenhouse cabinet. Those need to be watered like every 5-ish days, sometimes a little more often than that. So that's a big project. And then the kitchen plants. And then I just have a few plants dispersed elsewhere. They're not really that interesting. And I don't really have grow lights besides in the greenhouse cabinet and then 2 other spots. And they're not automated. So you would have to turn them on.
Oh my gosh.
On and off.
Those plants are dying.
Okay, well.
Just kidding.
But that's my collection.
Okay.
Oh, and like the plants that make up the collection, it's mostly philodendron and like mostly drought resistant. I don't have a ton of Hoya, but like philodendron can go a while.
Yeah.
And anthurium, right?
And
Mostly aeroids.
Yeah. Mostly
Aeroids.
aeroids. Like very aeroid heavy collection.
Okay. See, we got a lot of stuff going on with my collection. Most of my collection is all in one spot, though. They're on the shelves with the grow lights, but you do have to turn them on and off because no timer girl over here. I know. I might get one though.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Gift ideas.
Yeah, it's on my wish list. I mean, I have a couple plants dispersed as well. Like there's a few still upstairs in the office and then like 2 in the kitchen. My donkey tail lives on my kitchen counter all by herself because literally on a pedestal, queen. I'd say like I have maybe 30% of my plants still left in LECA and those are mainly my Hoya. I do want to experiment with pond, but not there yet. So the rest are in soil and it's a majority dilettings. I don't think I have anything left in old soil, maybe a few cactus actually. But this is the thing with my collection. See, I have some aeroids and I have some cactus and I have some Hoya. So very different care conditions, different watering schedules.
Yeah. That's how mine is too. I got a lot of cactus.
You got cactus, yeah.
A lot of cactus.
A lot of cacti. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. And my whole collection, most of my whole collection is in the basement. So like no natural light.
Okay.
So the lights stay on pretty much.
Now, since you moved it to
15
the
hours.
basement, do the lights stay on overnight still, or did you start turning them on during the day?
I'm turning them on during the day.
Okay.
So they're on opposite schedules. Like,
Was there a weird adjustment with that, or did you notice, or no?
not that I've seen. I was worried about it, but not that I've seen. We can't have them on at night because they're just too bright because our room is right there too. And we sleep with the door open. So, so they're on pretty much all day until right before we go to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah. So now what are we going to talk about? Are we going to talk about which home we would prefer to go to?
No, because that could lead to hurt feelings.
Oh, I won't be hurt, but okay.
But I prefer Becca's.
Yeah. Perfect.
Is that what you prefer too?
I thought we weren't talking about that. Just kidding.
Is it because of the plant room?
The sunroom.
Yeah, the sunroom.
Jesus.
Yeah, I would prefer
yes.
Becca's
Very
too,
nice.
only for that reason though.
Yeah.
Because I like your pond situation.
Yeah.
And I love Hoya.
Yeah.
And a couple of your plants are just drool worthy. I mean, you have some too.
Yeah.
But like that plant room that's top notch.
Yeah.
I don't care about the care. I don't care how the struggle would be with the plant wall. Like that would cure my mental health
Yeah.
probably about 50% more.
Yeah. That
Living-
sunroom has saved me through the winters.
Yes.
It really has. It has. I think, well, for me, I'd probably go with Nicole because it's most similar to my collection. Like, you don't
Yeah.
want me in your pond. Yeah. You don't want me in your pond.
Becca would just fucking start uprooting all that shit. She'd
It'll-
be like,
I would transfer everything back to
What
soil.
are these fucking rocks?
Yeah. I'm like, what is this?
she'd pull up with a dump truck of Dela tanks and just be like, listen, bring them out back.
Dump it. Yeah. Yeah. Just because, like, I'd have to learn a whole new skill.
You would.
I would
Yeah.
love your collection, but I just don't know if I have it in me.
Yeah.
I think you do, but also it's okay if you don't want to. That's the thing.
Right. That's the joy.
It's however you want to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I have one plant in pond and it's not doing great. So I don't know. That could be because of me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Thank
so
you. Probably.
But here's
Honestly,
the thing is
probably.
like You asked me a question about pon that first time when you got that plant.
Yeah.
And you've never asked again because you're the kind of person that's like, I don't want to ask people for it. But like you can ask.
It just like, I mean, it looks fine. Okay, there's no leaves on it. It's a leafless anthurium. And I was
completely leafless?
Yeah. And I was like, well, let's just see if this brings it back. And I was like, I don't know. And I keep it filled.
Roots growing?
I have no idea. But like, I keep the water level up.
It's a stick. It's probably dead.
Yeah, I don't usually keep it. I don't keep water in mine all the time. I let them all dry out, kind of like you would with soil.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it does like the water level goes down and then I fill it up again. I'm not like topping it up every day.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I guess I should like take it out and see what happened. I do know that some of the roots have died, but some of the roots still look chunky. You know how anthurium have those chunky roots? I'm like, there's something going on still.
Okay.
But there's no like new growth point coming out. Maybe if it gets blasted with sun, more light. I honestly don't know. But that plant I don't really care about. I would consider like getting a new plant and then putting it in pon.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to put any in my current. I'm like emotionally attached to my plants. That's why I have trouble cutting them and propagating and selling them. I just can't do it. I don't want to. I could.
That's okay too.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I'm just too emotionally connected. But like with my elbow, I'm like, I could probably like at least drop a few of these and just give them to people. But I would probably only do that. I don't know if I could like deal with the money stuff.
Yeah. It's hard.
You guys are very brave.
But we do live in the Midwest, and I feel like Monstera elbows and Thai constellations, and they sell really well.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to Wisconsin and with Bree. Hi, Bree. And they were selling.
Hello. Sorry.
They were selling elbow cuttings, like 2-3 leaves for like $700.
What? 7?
100.
Oh my word.
I mean, they were beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Cha-ching.
Yeah. But my plant has really nice variegation.
It does.
Really
It
beautiful
does.
variegation.
It does. So I feel like maybe the fact that Adam's in the desert, they don't do as well down there. But I think I would think that they would.
they do
No,
fine.
Arizona people are just stingy.
I think that it was just like easier to find
Rightfully
them.
so, though, because life's expensive. But
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And I think it was easier to find them.
Yeah.
Like trends go from like the outer edges of the country in.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
That is
when
true.
when you're that close to California or Florida, it's a lot easier to get access to those types of plants.
Yeah.
Okay. But Adam, what would you be like in my collection? Let's do like what we each would be like in each other's collections.
That's what I was saying. Same brain, because I was thinking like we should say like what would die, what would we love to take
Yes.
care of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, do your philodendrons kind of like, see, I really like plants that tell you when they're thirsty. And that's why I just love Hoya, because you can literally just pinch a leaf and be like, oh, this needs water. So if your philodendrons get a little floppy, I think
Yeah.
that I would love the wall, because every time I see your videos, every time I see you in a TikTok, I'm just like, the wall. I know it's a
wall.
lot of work, but
Yeah.
so I think I would focus most of my energy there.
Yeah.
I feel like the cabinet would not go well. Like that would die,
Yeah.
because every 5 days.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably, but I'm not a cabinet boy, but I do love your cabinet. Those handles.
Oh my God. The handle is so beautiful, isn't it?
Yes.
I feel like after watching that video, you sold some of those handles. Like that company should reach
for
out
sure.
and thank
Yeah.
you on that.
I think I got like 5 or 6 messages. I was like, I got the handle.
Yes.
I mean, I said in the video, like, if you do nothing else, just get this handle because it's really pretty.
It's so pretty.
And I think that is a complaint that most people have about the cabinets, is there's no like handle. Anyway, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But it would probably die, or I would transition those plants out into like Gen Pop, or
Yeah.
try to.
Yeah. Gen Pop. Like they're in prison.
Your
kind of are.
your the where I would have to turn the lights on, I would not do that.
Yeah.
I am just not. I'm not good with like waking up and like being. I'm a habitual person. Like I get stuck on habits and addictive personality kind of thing. But like, I don't know. I don't have a routine. So
Yeah.
if a routine included having to turn on lights, I'd be like, no. So I would either order a smart plug, or just like they would all die.
Yeah. Okay.
They get what they get.
They get what they get. And if they throw a fit, they die. So the one that's in my room for the Monstera, the Soul Tech light, it's connected to a light switch. So like anytime, like when I'm leaving my room, I just turn it on. I just flip it on.
Okay.
And it's kind of like just the light for my room during the day, because my room is so dark. It's so dark. So it's like nice to have a light on. I think that's why I end
why
up
you
turning
sleep
it
so
on.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
My sleep is really good in my house because my room is very dark.
I mean, same. We're in the basement.
Yeah.
It's so hard to wake up.
Good sleep habits.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand that. That makes sense.
Yeah. So those would be the ones that would probably die. But the crown jewel, the one I would like focus on is that compacta.
Oh, same.
Oh, yeah.
I love that plant. But also I feel like we've watched it grow
Yeah.
through our friendship. And so it's just like, it's kind of special. Even though it's not my plant, I'm like, I remember seeing that in your apartment in Tucson. And then now we see it in
was
your
tiny.
house. Yeah.
It was so tiny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was not even spilling over the pot in a 6-inch pot.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I have a Mauna Loa compacta, so it's the intervariegated. And I switched it to soil because I just don't think it liked pond. Because I had it in pond for years and it just was not doing anything. And I put it in soil and it started growing.
Oh, in De La Tanks or your own concoction. Hoya really liked De La Tanks.
Yeah, because it retains a little bit of moisture. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great soil.
It retains it in just the right way for Hoya. Like, it's so good for Hoya. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I was a little bit, but like, I'm really pleased with how they respond. Yeah.
So that would be me. What about you, Nicole, for geckos?
So I think what I would do is I love your cabinet, but I also love your wicker shelving unit. And I think the first thing I would do is I would take all of your cactus and make that like a cactus display.
Ooh.
Like, I think that would be really pretty because it's
That's
like
cool.
the brown, like desert, it gives like vibes. So I think I would do that and maybe put like a couple grow lights on it, even like figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's the first thing I would do. And then like the wall, like, again, I don't even care about the watering. I would
Worth it.
I would up my TikTok game in front of that wall. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
But you took the words out of my mouth with that compacta. Like, that would probably be like front and center for me.
Yeah. Crown jewel.
Yeah. And then your cabinet, like, I love your cabinet too, but I think that, I don't know. I think that maybe like that would be hard for me too, having to water every 5 days. I mean, I would probably get like, cause I'm a habitual person too, but I would probably get into the flow of it. It just might take a little while. Like, I might kill some along the way, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I would really change anything about your room though, other than that little cactus. Like, I would want your cactus to be like on display there.
Yeah. More of a focal.
Yeah. But I don't think that I would really change anything else.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I would put some of your Hoya in pond
Yeah.
or leca. Like, I'd switch it out.
Oh, yeah, true. I would do that too.
Yeah.
Some experimenting.
Some experimenting.
I would focus on the Hoyas and be like, let's get you guys big.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please help me. I don't know why. I mean, it's flat mites probably, but like they just,
Why? Oh, flat mice.
Because
Yeah.
I gave them to you.
they just don't grow. Like, the compacta grows like really well, but you know what? That plant has never touched another plant in
Yeah,
its
keep
life.
it away.
Yeah.
It's never touched leaves with anything ever.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one plant where I'm like, this is never going to touch anything. I've been so adamant about that. When I moved, it had its own little thing.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want it to get mealy bugs. 'Cause that was what I was worried about, was
Nightmare.
mealies.
I've never
Oh my God.
had mealybug. Well, I have had root mealies. Where the fuck do they come from?
It's
Sorry.
a mystery.
idea.
Sorry.
It's one of the greatest mysteries of the world.
Yeah.
I found a mealy on my compacta before I left for San Diego.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I swiped it with alcohol, but I didn't search it for it anymore because I wasn't in the mental state for that.
Yeah.
But I did look at the plants surrounding it. See, that's another thing about my collection. Before you talk about moving to my collection, is that my plants are very compact on the shelves.
Yeah.
They touch each other. And I definitely have flat mites. So go ahead, Becca. What would you do?
But hold on, though, with your Hoya, I know you say that they're not growing. So,
Yeah.
like, when you water them, do you give them a spray from the sink, like, to wash them down? Because that does help.
Yeah, not since I have been watering them with my plant bucket, because I don't take them to the sink anymore.
Okay, well,
So you think
maybe
water
try
them-
to have maybe for like a month or maybe 2 months. I know it's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
commitment, but like just
It's okay.
take them either somewhere into your shower
Yeah.
in that first floor and to just spray them
Yeah.
with like a steady stream of water to just knock off anything and just see if that like helps
Helps
with anything.
them. Okay.
Come spring.
Yeah. See, I really want my obovata to get bigger. My obovata hasn't grown since I moved.
Yeah.
And I should have. It really should have, because my
should have.
compacta has grown. But it grew a lot at my old apartment, and then we moved here, and it just doesn't. Well, to Missouri. But yeah, there's just like several of my Hoya that like definitely need better conditions, but I don't have the space because they're kind of big. My Obovata is an 8-inch pot,
Yeah. It's a big one.
so it's kind of big to like be on the wall.
Mine is too. My Obovata is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing with the compacta is it's too big for the wall now. So the
Is
next
it?
pot size up, it'll be too big. Yeah.
Oh, you should put like a little mini shelf.
Yeah, you're going to have to build a shelf for that. It
Yeah.
needs it.
I think I'm going to put it in a macrame hanger and have it in that same area.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
But just a macrame hanger instead. Because you know how I have the neon philodendron in the corner? I'm just going to have the other one on the other side.
that would be
So
pretty.
it'll like frame the wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
With those two.
Yeah.
It is kind of mine's a macrame hanger too, and it's a little annoying getting it out to water, but
Yeah.
you know,
But like
you don't have to water it that often.
Yeah.
with my plants that are annoying to get out of a macrame hanger, I just like slide the macrame hanger away from
Oh, kind of like the underwear,
Yes.
the underwear trick, the romper.
Just say
The bathing suit.
well,
Peeing with
I
the
was,
bathing
I
suit
was
on.
going for like quick, a quickie. But yeah, peeing in a swimsuit too.
Peeing in a swimsuit.
But yeah, that too.
Peeing in a one piece.
That's much more age appropriate, or not age appropriate. That's much more PG.
Yeah. Let's stick with peeing in a one suit.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I do for those plants that are like, I'm not taking that out of the
That's
macrame
smart.
hanger.
Yeah.
That's smart.
And like people have been like, well, doesn't your macrame mold? I've never had that happen to
Me
me.
either.
It dries out pretty quickly. It's cotton.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like hang drying it.
that's right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. One other thing is that my slop sink, my utility sink in my
Oh, yeah.
basement,
That's nice.
it is nice. Ever since I realized I could flip over my
Oh my God.
plant folio.
Your plant folio can be flipped over and lock in place.
Oh, you guys, that video posted that week
Oh my
that we had that
gosh.
episode. So
Did anybody tell you in the comments?
No.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
So you wouldn't have known.
No. So thank you for telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah, my audience is
Can't
great.
use
No, I'm
it.
just kidding. But yeah, I want to get a sprayer attachment. Bree has one.
I saw you repost somebody's video of that.
Yes, and hers is like, I want to get that one. It's a
Yeah.
little pricey, but worth it.
Yeah.
But okay, go ahead.
I think you could just get a regular shower head too.
Yeah, probably.
I think you can do that too. But the sprayer would be nice because then you can like squeeze it and then it's on and then you like a outside thing.
Right. Like a whole garden hose.
Yeah. Are we doing Nicole's collection next?
Yeah.
Okay. I think with your collection, the first thing I would do is like maybe get another shelf so it could be more spread out because a big rule in my collection is nothing touches.
Okay. I've thought about that actually.
Yeah.
Because right next to it, we have like our little kitchen set up, but I can easily move that to another part of the basement and
Yeah.
it be like on its own.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I think I would also maybe instead of getting another shelf, I might like spread them out throughout the basement, like have different zones. And because I like to break my plants down into like care zones.
Yeah.
So, which doesn't always work out, obviously, because I have aeroids and like all these things like all mixed together. But I kind of like having zones where I'm like, okay, this needs to be watered like the cabinets, like around every 5
Yeah.
days. So I probably would do something like that, like bunch things up that are around the same size, like they need to be watered around the same time, like maybe just like different areas, like still with the grow lights in the basement. But that's probably something that I would do just so that they would be more like spread out.
Yeah.
Feel more engulfed.
Yeah.
Then you can get more.
True.
Then you could feel like you could have like bigger plants because the shells
Yeah.
kind of limit you to
They do.
like 8 inches tall.
Yeah, and the trellis situation is difficult with those. You have to
It's
get a very
so-
specific trellis to fit in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard. That's why we have we have those 6 cubes from IKEA.
Yeah.
And I have a grow light, almost like the Soltec, but it was a DIY
Yeah.
Soltec. And then I have like my taller cactus and euphorbia over there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why we did that. But
In the basement as well?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, duh.
That's probably something I would do. And then like anything you have remaining in pond, I'd put in soil.
Okay.
Because
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, that's like that's like a cop out, but
Right.
I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah.
But
Understand.
otherwise, yeah, our collections are pretty much very similar, like as far as the variety. So I feel like I would integrate very easily into yours. I would probably just spread things out.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd
Cool.
be my only change.
Okay, so First of all, what I would probably kill immediately is your donkey tail, which would make me really sad.
Oh, same. Thank you for saying that. I would definitely kill that.
Really?
Because
Yeah.
that's your like mascot.
I know.
And you're just so good at it. Like nobody is good at that plant.
No.
But listen, that thing is not on a schedule. Oh, and that's also in old soil.
When do you water it?
Like once every 2 weeks.
And does it butt chug or do you do over the top water?
Jesus.
No, I
Does it bottom water or do you do?
So is it a bottom or a top?
that's probably the easiest plant to water because it's right behind the sink. So I just put it in the sink, give it a soak.
A spray down.
Yeah, I
Okay.
spray
Every
I
2
spray the
weeks.
foliage. A couple bump off because it's a donkey tail.
Yeah.
But
Do you
put it-
sprinkle them back in? What do you do? Do you just let them go down?
I sprinkle them back in. And repotting that was a nightmare. I think I did it in 2020.
Yeah.
But it's not going to need to be repotted for like another 3 years at least.
Yeah.
2-3 years. So I don't think that you'd kill it.
Oh, I think I would.
It's so easy.
Maybe if I knew that that's what you did. Every 2 weeks you give it a good soak. I think I could maintain that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
if I was left to my own devices to figure it out, I would probably kill it.
Okay.
I mean, it might stay alive until it needs repotting, and then when I repot it, I will probably just destroy it. Because
Yeah,
I've watched
knock
videos where
everything
people
off.
like wrap them in a pillowcase and then repot it to try to like keep it.
I have a video on my channel of me repotting it, and that video still gets views. It's I think it's in my top 10.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
bet. I mean, I would knock everything off because you just barely graze it and they pop off.
Yeah. They are very sensitive.
They're so ugly when they don't have their
Dude,
leaves.
SEO, you should do another video that's like,
Caring for it.
Yeah.
because then you can just be like, here's clips from when I repotted it. Here's how
True.
I did it. Here's what it looks like now. I've had this plant for 5 years and it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like
True.
you should be the one people are
That's on your list.
emulating.
I think it'd be longer if I didn't, because I like started over in that video because I like some pieces had root rot. It was in too big of a pot. I didn't really know like the whole, they like to be kind of compacted. But it would probably be longer if I didn't snip it and start over in that video. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like evidence of like you fixing
Right.
issues and it's still fine.
yeah,
I think that says a lot about you
yeah.
in a good way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'd kill that plant.
So that one's out.
She gone.
Bye.
I would definitely get timers.
Yes.
Because again,
Okay.
I'm not turning on lights every day.
You're right. Especially if I spread everything out. Timers.
Yeah.
Just automate.
Yeah.
True. Okay.
With a little app. Click it.
Yeah.
Or just set the schedule and you don't even have to click it.
That's true.
It'll just do it itself.
Yeah, I had to tell Jay, I was like, don't forget to turn the lights on and turn them off before you go to bed.
Oh, I
He's
look
like,
at our cameras and I'm like, Steve, but see, the one thing that's not automated is our windows. I need to get automated blinds. Like,
Oh, so they go up.
Yeah, I
Oh,
noticed
he leaves
that.
them down.
I
and I'm
noticed
like,
that
"Steve,
here.
the blinds aren't open and those plants need that light.
Yeah.
I noticed that here you just go around opening up and there's fake plants here, so they don't need it.
Yeah.
But like you're very much open all the windows in the morning kind of
Sorry,
guy.
yeah.
No, I'm
Adam-
fine with that.
Adam came down and opened the kitchen window and like he was like barely walking away. I'm like, can you close that?
Can you put that down?
It's a little bright, okay, desert boy.
It's
But
just
there is a
because there was
metal shed out there.
there was like a shed that was reflecting in my eyes. Otherwise, I love it.
Yeah.
He's like, we need to wake up, people. We need to wake up.
Time to wake up. I'm sorry, last awake,
I
Mr.
know.
Mr. Last awake.
I was. That's why when I woke up and I saw you're like, "What's the vibe? Are we all awake?" And then Nicole's like, "I'm making coffee," and I'm just like, "Oh gosh!" And that was like an hour ago. I was like, they're already
don't worry about it.
Started their
Fine.
day.
No, we're on different time zones. You woke
Yeah.
up at a very normal time for your time zone.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the lights, but I feel like, well, the cactus probably are not going to be my focal focus.
Okay.
Because I do have like a booby cactus. I have a couple other cactus. I have the white ghost euphorbia.
Classic.
But again,
Jelly.
like I usually just don't do anything with those plants. And then every like 4 months, I'm like, oh yeah, I have not watered that. And I just give it a deep soak.
Wow.
And I mean, it's not growing
be
huge,
fine.
but
Yeah.
they're all fine.
They
Yeah.
do. They're very resilient.
So maybe I
Yeah.
would be okay with the cactus.
And
I
a
think that'd
donkey
be the
tail.
least of your worries.
I would touch the cactus though, and I know you don't do that, but they need some.
They're not used to that, and they don't want people touching them.
I'm honestly shocked that you have never been inclined to touch your cactus.
Inclined to touch a cactus. That those words don't even go together in the same sentence.
But there are some that are touchable, you know?
Yeah, not most.
You know what? When we go shopping today, I'm going to make you touch a
I'm not
cactus.
touching
I'm going to
cactus.
pick one out that is soft, because if you have to get it at the right angle though. If you touch it like this, like head on,
Yeah.
you know, you got to like stroke it like a cat.
Yeah.
Okay. I have
Very sexual. You got to touch it at the right angle. You can't just go in.
some of
you gotta
them
stroke it up and down.
See, I do like spineless cactus, you know.
So, I mean, but
that doesn't count.
no,
Okay,
it's
fine.
the danger factor. Okay, we're gonna get you touching a cactus.
On video, look for that, guys.
It's like honestly satisfying. There are definitely some that I don't touch.
Like bunny ear.
Oh, God. Yeah. No, that is the worst.
I'll never forget that video of Summer Rayne Oaks visiting that plant shop, and I can't remember who it was, but he was repotting a bunny ear and literally just pulling it out with his hands, and he had needles all in his hands.
Well, did he have really calloused hands?
I would hope.
If
At
you
that
have,
point.
I assume if you have calluses, the tissue isn't like soft, so it'll just brush off.
We got to watch that video again. It's very triggering, but I was like, what is this man doing?
No, you just look at that. You move it. You pick it up. You don't even
Yeah.
touch the plant, and then you have them in your hands.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
I used really long tongs to repot mine, and it's still because like they just like kind of fall off, kind of like snow on a tree. if
I
you
don't
just
even
shake
have
it.
one anymore because I'm not doing that.
You yeeted it.
Yes,
I have one
yeet.
for nostalgia. I have a Santa Rita prickly pear. That's
Okay.
like the classic one that grows in
yeah.
people's landscape.
Yeah, the invasive kind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I planted mine in our landscape, but in a pot, in a big pot.
that's smart.
So it'll not
It won't
become
go
this
absolutely
huge.
nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are super invasive. You like walk out into the desert and there's just like, I don't know, 500 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
500 feet, big block of them.
It is.
But they're beautiful.
So what would you do with the cactus? Would you just like be like,
I
"Meh"?
would try.
Okay.
I would try.
Okay.
But you know, I don't want to deal with winters again. Like I don't know if I would ever take them outside. I don't want to deal with the inside outside thing. So they would probably just live inside.
We forgot to mention that.
We're used to
A lot of our
that.
collection goes outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally forgot to mention that.
Well, it's just all my cactus
Yeah.
and euphorbia.
Well, you have a lot of those. That's like
You
a
do.
big portion of
I
your
know.
collection. That's like 30 plants.
But that is when they grow.
Yeah.
Like they are completely dormant in the winter.
Yep.
Even under grow lights. They
Yep.
just don't.
Girl, I feel like you need to pump out the cactus in the Midwest content.
Yeah, I
like
probably
you
do.
are, that's one thing that's always impressed me with you is the fact that you can keep that cactus collection looking as beautiful as it is
Yeah.
in the Midwest.
In the Midwest.
Like,
And for
it's
so
a
long without
skill.
grow lights. Like,
I know.
yeah.
I know.
I do think that the trick is to put them outside though,
Yes.
because when I had them outside that first year, they grew more than they ever did in Tucson.
Yeah.
Really?
And I think it's just because they were getting so much water.
Yes, because I water them every day and people are like, what? They're
Yeah.
cactus. And I was like, yeah, but
It's
there's-
well draining soil.
it's well draining soil.
Yep.
They're outside. It's windy.
You can imagine how quickly, 'cause they're in terracotta. Like it dries
Yes.
out fully every single day.
Oh, within an hour. They're
Yeah.
you know, they still have
Completely
some
dry.
moisture, but they're Yeah, that is true. We didn't talk about that. That's a good point. Because
Yeah.
that is a lot of work.
So I would keep them inside the whole time. I would probably transfer all of your things that are in leca into pawn.
Okay.
I really think you like pawn.
I might
need
do
to get
that
you on
myself.
this train.
Yeah.
And trellis some plants, maybe trellis some Hoya.
Okay.
Just because I like the look of it being upright.
Yeah.
And like-
Tidy.
So then
Yeah.
you would need some new shelving.
Well, I have my circle trellises.
Oh, yeah.
In the certain pot from IKEA that I love.
Okay.
They fit perfectly on those shelves.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like your shelves are what I have in my collection.
Right.
That's just Hoya, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very beautiful. I would be nervous having that many Hoya because, I mean, no, I wouldn't. Maybe I wouldn't. They're not stressful plants to own, but I just feel like they wouldn't change at all under my care.
See, that's why I want to, like,
You want to go to
I
her
just want
house
to
and
come
care.
to your house
Yeah.
for like a month and just like care for, because I want you to realize how amazing, I feel like one day you're going to,
Yeah.
but I just want you to realize how amazing Hoya are
Yeah.
when they're actually like growing. You know, it's just so rewarding.
Probably very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've only had a few Hoya that have really, really grown well. And for the most part, the rest of them, I mean, they bloom. I've got
Yeah.
a couple that bloom, pretty consistently. My Calistophylla is always blooming,
Yeah,
always.
That's a pretty one.
And that's where I'm kind of frustrated though, because I would rather get more foliage on that plant. Like I want it to grow, but ever since I cut it that one time, it has never grown another leaf. One time it grew one leaf after that, but
That
it
was my
hasn't.
gray ghost.
Yeah.
Did I tell you guys I chopped it all up? Like I think there's like maybe 5 plants I got out of it, and I'm propagating them.
Yeah.
But they
That's
may
a
still
tough
have
one.
they may still have flat mite.
Yeah.
See, when I make cuttings, I take a soft bristle toothbrush and I just scrub them. Because even though I know
Yeah.
but like if there was an egg or something, I literally under hot water just scrub every cutting.
I should have did that. I sprayed
Okay.
it. I sprayed them with the pesticide, but
Yeah.
Yeah. My Obovata splash from you is putting out new growth. And I'm thinking about chopping that one and propagating it because there's long sections where there were no leaves because they fell off. I'm thinking about chopping and propping and like just starting a piece over completely and then like cutting it all the way down to those original leaves.
Do it.
Would it regrow though?
Oh, yeah.
It's not like spent.
So I gave my friend Lydia a cutting of my splash, and everyone always comments on that Hoya. They're
Yeah.
like, this is gorgeous. And I hate kind of like trading or selling it. I do it, but I hate it because it's a crapshoot if it comes out splashy again.
Yeah.
But Lydia, so I gave her a cutting, and she cut it 5 times from that one node, because Hoyas don't have a thing of like spent node.
Oh.
There's no
Yeah.
spent nodes.
Oh,
So
really?
I gave her the 2-leaf cutting. It grew a vine, and then those leaves weren't splashy, so she cut it off. And then it grew another vine. They weren't splashy. Cut off. The 5th vine that grew from that node it had the
Splashy.
splash gene.
wow.
Oh.
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you can cut it many, many times.
Okay, I'm gonna be more experimental with it then, especially
Yeah.
knowing that you have so much of it. If I fuck it up,
Oh,
I could
yeah.
just get another one.
You can. I got you. Also, you paid for that, and I'm still kind of mad about that. That I even let you pay for that.
Why?
Because friends.
That was when
Friends
you first
support
started,
friends, though, too.
I know, and I love that, but no.
Friends support friends.
I'm happy that I paid for. I literally don't even. I forgot that I even paid for it. Like
Yeah,
you've
$70.
given me.
I didn't forget.
You've
Oh my god.
you've given me so many plants though. Like when we were talking about doing that video where it's like all the plants that we have from each other.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have given them not that many plants. Like maybe like 1 or 2. Actually, the order.
Bellatier,
Yeah.
Arbat Poems.
Yeah, that order, but that wasn't from my collection because I'm stingy. I
Yeah.
hate that about myself, but I am kind of stingy.
That's okay.
Everyone, you're allowed to be. Those
Yeah.
are the thing. Those are your babies that you've cared for.
Yeah.
Let's talk about me.
Yeah, let's talk about you. Let's talk about Adam.
about me. Let's
we're
talk
creeping
about us.
towards feature film length again.
But this
Of course.
is so fun.
It is fun. What would you guys do in my house?
Okay. So
You better not get rid of patches.
I would never get rid of
What?
fucking cat.
And she'd be on my shoulder every single day.
Yes. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, I'm picturing it. So I think what I would do, the first thing that I would probably do is I would take the little bit of cactus you have. Like how many do you think you'd have? Maybe like 8?
4.
That's it? Well, we would add to that. So we would go
would
shopping.
add to that.
We'd go. We're in
Zero
Arizona.
In Arizona.
Zero
We're in
plants
Arizona.
outside.
Literally in Phoenix.
Yeah, we're in Arizona.
Oh, set up an oasis outside.
Yes.
With misters.
Oh.
Not
Ooh,
very
that's a
water
good
conscious.
idea.
That is a good idea.
Yeah. You should do that, Adam.
I should.
But see, you don't really care about cactus, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So what I would do is I would come in and the whole front window, like where you have your Monstera now, that would be like cactus bench. Like
Oh,
I'd
that
get it-
south window.
Yes.
In the front.
Because I used to have a cactus bench and I really miss it.
Your teak bench.
My teak bench.
I want that teak bench from IKEA, but I'm not spending that much money on it.
So my teak bench was from overstock.com. And it's real teak. Well, we got rid of it because it broke, but it was like $70 on sale.
Okay.
Very cheap. I don't spend money, remember? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So in front of that window, because that's the window for the cactus, you know, like I would set that up and I would go shopping and I would buy cactus. I would leave all of your Hoya alone because who's touching your Hoya? Oh, well, Becca would, but like I would leave them in pond and just probably like gaze at their glory. But I'm pretty sure I would kill some of them.
Yeah. You got
Which
to pH
ones?
balance the water.
pH balance the water.
Which one do you
I'm
think would
being
die
outed.
first?
Okay, so I would probably be low-key terrified to care for your crimson, your original, the big one.
Okay.
Oh, really? That's
that
the
the
one where I
crimson?
feel like I'd be like, chill.
The tall one?
The very tall one.
No, that's just a regular carnosa.
Or carnosa,
Yeah.
the family heirloom.
Is it in soil?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah,
See,
I don't know if
I realize
I'm
it's kind
fine.
of difficult for you guys to like, because you haven't really seen my collection as it is now, and I don't do a lot of videos of like, here's a tour,
Right,
you know?
yeah.
So
Right.
it's like difficult to see, but yeah.
Well, I was gazing when you do TikToks though sometimes, and you do Instagram content,
Yeah.
and you do your Hoya reels. So like I'm trying to think of those, but like I think that I might kill it. I don't know. I might overwater it or something. Like I would be paranoid that
Yeah.
I'm not giving it enough care, and I'd give it too much care probably.
Yeah. That thing's like a dinosaur that's been alive forever.
Yeah.
Man.
That's honestly the one plant I would not be worried about at all. I mean, like, it's
Okay.
fine. Watered every 2 weeks, maybe.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one wouldn't scare me because it's so old. It's like nothing's going to happen to it.
I mean, that's
It's so established.
the same thing with my donkey tail though.
But that plant is so sensitive.
It is a little sensitive.
I think
you
that's
look-
the difference.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I would change much about your collection other than that. Yeah, maybe because you're in Arizona, maybe I would create like an outdoor plant space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because man, the advantage of that. I mean, granted, like the summers you can't bring aeroids out there.
No.
So that would be an issue of bringing them back in the summer. It'd be like the reverse
Yeah.
of what we do.
You could have the cactus out there year round,
Yeah,
right?
the
Because it's
cactus
covered.
could stay out there year round.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I need to figure out something for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you only have 4. Just put them outside.
I know.
Yeah. I think, it'd be really cool to have like a cute little potting bench out there and then you just put them on there. You know?
Do you still have the staff?
No. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Oh, so no, I have some outside. I have from our first ever collab video. I have both of those plants:
Like,
I'm going to beep that out.
the bottle brush
Yes.
cactus and the Jacob's or the
Yeah, Jacob's coat.
Joseph's coat?
Joseph's coat.
My original Joseph's coat died. I'm gutted. Maybe I'll have, you still have yours.
Yeah, from our video.
Oh, cutting.
Oh, but it's not the same one that I had. It's not the
Oh.
original one that I had.
No,
Yeah,
it's the
no.
tiny
It's a
hands
different
video.
type.
It was
Yeah.
a tiny or blindfolded video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I have the ones that your mom gave me still outside.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have some out. I forgot
And
about
they're
that.
probably really happy.
Yeah, and I literally forget to take care of them, and I'm like, oh, they need a water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could honestly plant those in your landscape
I know, I need to.
and then you'd never have to water them.
It's not easy just willy-nilly planting landscape in Arizona though. Like
I just want
digging up that hard ass.
Oh, yeah. It is. The digging the hole is hard.
It's
Yeah.
so hard.
But like drip irrigation.
I know.
My parents installed like a cactus garden next to their pool and it's so pretty. They've grown like a foot in like a year.
Yeah.
See, I want to do a little cactus garden too, but the thing is, our drip irrigation is broke, and so I would have to like. I
You
just
could
want
dig it up.
I just want to pay somebody to come and just fix the irrigation,
Do it.
and then. What the fuck? Was that a kid?
Or an animal. They sound the same.
Kind of sounded like a Oh, it's seagulls. I'm like, it sounded like a chicken.
Seagulls.
Oh,
We are
'cause we're by
close to the
sea,
beach.
under the sea. But yeah. Anyway, the drip irrigation is kind of annoying because it's just busty and crusty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To hire someone to do that. My dad does it, like all that stuff, but he's retired and like he
Yeah.
likes fixing things, but like whatever. Like you guys both work. Like
Yeah.
just hire someone to do it. You got the
Right.
money.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's what I think too.
Yeah. That'd be so much easier. Plus digging up all that stuff.
It's not easy.
No.
Yeah.
In the trenches.
You would be in the trench.
Literally.
Because it probably is trenched around the entire yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but wouldn't it be so nice? Because you have a palm tree next to your pool, don't you?
Yes.
It'd be so cool to put like a cactus garden around that.
I know.
Like you could just go to the desert botanical garden and like take some pics and like get some inspo.
I feel like we need more outdoor content from you. How's your Joshua tree?
Yeah, Josh.
Oh, that thing is growing because the neighbors water and their thing is broken.
Yeah.
They water their yard, so they water our Joshua tree. I
my
literally have
God.
done
Years
nothing to
later,
that.
they've never fixed it.
No.
Because that's you've been milking that situation for a long time.
Yeah, I fear that, like, because Joshua trees, like, they have a pretty substantial root system and they do the same thing that like agaves do because it's a
Yeah.
part of the family where like a pup will pop up.
Yeah.
But it could be like 5 or 10 feet away.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting for the day because I'm sure all the roots are under their yard.
Oh, and then one
it's
pops
just
up in
gonna
there.
Pop up a Joshua tree in their yard.
What would you do? Would you go over there and be like, can I dig that up?
Excuse
welcome.
Me, that's mine.
Yeah. Do you see that over there? So it's actually its mother.
I'll call Maury Povich and I'll be like, you are the father.
Or call Andrew and be like, those rocks belong to me. Oh man,
hilarious.
I don't know I would. That's probably what I would do. I would focus on like more desert scape in your collection.
Ooh. That'd be so cool.
But as far as like your collection, I feel like you've curated such a perfect system that I
Yeah.
don't think I'd mess with it. But I might kill a few because of the pH. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think that I would, I don't know. It could really go either way with me. Like I'd either step up to the plate and learn pawn because everything is so happy. I would feel like a monster
The
changing
fact that
everything.
You're even saying that is a step up.
Yeah. So, because I think that if I did switch everything to soil, it would all die. And it would be my fault.
It would be a shock.
And I'd have to live with that for the rest of my life, knowing that I killed your collection.
It would be an easy switch because switching from pond or leca to soil is so much easier than switching from soil to pond or
With mature plants, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So-
I just,
It'd be a project, but
I see, but I wouldn't choose your collection because of that. But if I
Yeah.
had to,
yeah,
I would, I think I would knuckle down and I'd learn pawn. I'd watch all your videos. I'd learn what I need to learn because you're not just going to like walk in and like uproot a child's life.
Yeah.
You know, you got to kind of go with what they've been doing.
I think that you'd like pond more than leca too.
I think so too. Pawn. Yeah. I do have one plant in pawn and like, I do like the way that it's set up because it feels more like soil
Yeah.
to me. But what I was going to say that I would do for sure is I would put your like philodendron on planks and stuff and your monstera on a plank. I would, your monstera Thai constellation, I would start to grow up because you know how it's growing out horizontally. I would start training it up so that
need
it
to do that.
can grow into like a tree vibe because I hate when my monstera do that. It takes up so much space.
Yeah, they really widen out.
Yeah, they do. It's like ground cover.
Yes,
If you let them. So I would probably start by doing that. Like, and you already grow most of your plants upright, so it wouldn't be that weird. But I'd get some planks and like start training things up wood because wood's super strong.
Yeah. See, that's what it is. That's what I need. See, that's when
trust
I
me.
need you to come over and help me just repot that monstera and put it on a plank. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
It's huge.
go to Home Depot.
Well, I mean, you have the plant tape. That's what I use.
Yeah.
I just like, it's like braces. Just slowly tighten it. Like every couple of days, tighten a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because I've taken monsteras from being like that to being upright.
You have you.
It just takes time, but they will eventually because you don't want to like pull it and then snap something.
right.
Yeah.
But they will move. It does take
I
time.
need a big pot for that.
I
Yeah,
can't
you
believe
would
we're
need a
an
big
hour
pot.
and 25 minutes in.
Yeah. Should we wrap it up?
Oh
a-
my God.
And I could keep talking.
I don't even feel like we've been talking that long.
No.
But we have a day, guys. We have
We
a day.
do. We got to go shopping.
It's
Yeah, we
11
do.
a.m. We need
Someone
to get
needs
her.
Birkenstocks. Baby needs her first pair of Birks.
Yeah, we're trying to convince Nicole to spend some money
wasn't
on some
the schedule.
Birkenstocks.
This wasn't in the plan. But
Do you think that's something we could convince you to do though?
I don't know. I don't know. It's
okay.
they're pricey, and we know how I am. But I also am out of my element in San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay, girl. I have had my Birk sandals for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
See,
they are still in good condition.
okay. I feel the same way about, and I'm gonna get fucking bolo back for this, but Crocs last forever too, and they're $40.
I don't think you're going to get blowback because people
No,
love their
people love Crocs.
No.
I want a pair of Crocs actually. I think they'd be really great for the garden because you can get wet.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
draft really quickly.
Don't leave them outside because they do shrink in the sun because that's what happened to mine.
Do they?
Oh.
Yes.
Well, the Arizona sun, anything will shrink in that sun. Wow,
Yeah.
I never thought about that. But like, they're so easy to clean. They're so comfortable.
Yeah.
I had a nicer pair of Crocs that I would wear to weddings, like
Yeah.
just black, like flat Crocs, and like my feet never hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, but this isn't about Crocs. This is about Birks, all right?
Yeah. Okay. And with Birkenstocks, if you know they start getting a little, you know, not great around the edges, you can take them to a cobbler. It's like one of the most common shoes that cobblers work on. So like any cobbler can fix them.
Yeah.
And they can replace the tread, like the soles. I got my shoes done. I bought these shoes in 2014 and I still have them. I wear them all the time, and I got them taken into a cobbler and they replaced the footbed and the under the sole. So it's basically an entirely new shoe except for the strap, and it was $80.
Worth
And
it.
a new pair would be like $140 for that style.
Oh,
So
that's not terrible.
Yeah.
I thought they
No.
were upwards of like over $200.
Oh no, they're like around $100. Like I'd say if you get like
that's
the
doable.
more intricate
139,
styles,
yeah, 139,
they go up to 140. But if you're gonna get a pair, I feel like you should go with like the classic, like one of the more classic ones.
I do like the classic style.
Those are like 100, 120.
And I like the green ones, like the olive.
Yes.
Those are really pretty.
I think we might have to do that.
I think you should.
We'll see.
Okay, if there's
We'll
a store,
see.
if we pass a store. But yeah, we have a day.
Shopping.
We're going shopping, and then we have a photo shoot. And listen, we have to be back here by like 2:30 the latest.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was thinking maybe even before that, but yeah.
Okay, it's 11,
Yeah.
so we need
So
to
we gotta
haul
go.
ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been fun. There's going to be more episodes, obviously the ones after this we're filming, because we're going to kind of stockpile some episodes.
Yeah,
we got
we're
to take
gonna record a
advantage
lot.
of this.
Good
But
energy being together.
it is a good energy. But thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget to leave us a review. Reviews really help us get out to the other people who might like this podcast, the girls who know.
Yeah.
Yes.
5 stars only.
And follow us on Instagram at Potted Together, which doesn't really matter right now, but that's where all the behind the scenes stuff happens when we get together. But that's not very often.
They're watching
and
that
you've
in
already
real
missed
time.
it. You've already missed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So for the next trip, just follow us on Potted Together.
It's a pastime.
And you can follow us individually. My Instagram is at NotDude. Becca is at DeLa Plants, and Nicole is at My Clean Leaves. I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's
we'll
the
talk to you
spiel.
guys. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Gear Patrol calls their new dive watch the best sub-$500 dive watch. Full stop. Men's Health rated them as the most stylish solar watch in the game. Who are we talking about? It's Movement. They're leveling up your gift giving with the sleekest watches you can buy and the biggest deals of the season. Shop 30 to 50% off Movement's innovative California clean watches, jewelry, and accessories with fast free shipping and returns now at mvmt.com. That's mvmt.com.